In this video I'm going to be looking at my time so far with the XT5. It's just in case you're considering upgrading or not. Now you'll see many videos online about that as well, whether it's worth upgrading from 26 megapixels from the XT4 and the XT3 to the 40 megapixels of the XT5. Now I'm very fortunate that I have two systems that I can run with. I've got the Nikon Z7 II, or Nikon, however you want to say it, and a few lenses for that, and I also have the one that I'm filming on just now, which is the Fuji XT5, and a few lenses for that as well. Where the difference comes in for me, now straight away, the difference between the full frame sensor and a crop frame sensor, even at 40 megapixels, it is apparent. It's not majorly apparent from the point of view that you would decide, I'm not buying it, I'm going for full frame. But it is apparent when you put the images side by side, and there is that bit of detail that perhaps picks up better on the Nikon Z7 II than it does in the Fuji. But for the images that I take, I'm not too bothered about that, to be totally honest, and that's the good thing. I love my Nikon Z7 II. I think it's a fantastic camera, absolutely fantastic camera. But you'll notice I'm not even filming on it, which I could do and hold up this XT5 for you, but that's not the point of this. I love filming on the XT5. I love the colour profiles it has as well. But ever since having this from day one, I've only lifted the Nikon up to take photographs of this for articles on f-stoppers. I haven't actually been out shooting with it. I will be soon again, but I haven't actually been out shooting with it. The Fuji XT5, I've read online quite a few, because once you buy something you go into a lot more detail about it, and I've been reading up a few articles about focusing issues. Again, I've been very fortunate, I haven't had any. There is a couple of times where it's missed focus, but that's been my fault, that's been user error, and I'm not saying that everybody's got user error, I'm saying the ones that I do, I know that that's been user error. Apart from that, the autofocus is fantastic on it. I haven't had any issues, and I can only be honest and say that I haven't had any issues with it. There's also a recommendation from Fuji about the lenses that will get the best use out of the sensor, and these are recommendations, and they'll definitely know what's the best to do it. For example, right now I'm using the 16mm at f2.8 to film this video, and that's on the recommended list. This one here, the 18-135, isn't on the list, but I get stunning images from it. Another one that isn't on the list is the 10-24. Now this is one of my favourite lenses as well. Get great images from it. I'm going to use the word stunning loosely because the photographs are not stunning, but the quality that I get from them is. That definitely is. So I have found no issues here either. And now that's not to say that I'm pixel peeping, because I don't do that. I don't go up to appreciating an image on the wall. I don't go up and go in and go, oh, is that in focus? Or I don't do that. I look at the overall thing, and that's how an image should be. That's how a creative person, in my opinion, should look at an image. Does it work? Does it make you feel good? Does it keep you focused on the image? Yes. Instead of going in really close and go, oh, that bit of grass is out of focus. That's not for me. That's really not for me, and if it is, that's entirely up to you. There's nothing wrong with that either. Another thing that I'll be doing throughout the year with the XT5 is I'll be testing out a lot of the range of lenses. Now I can't say exactly when that's going to happen, but my plan is to hire, because Fuji do a great thing where you can hire for 2 days. Now I know that 2 days doesn't give you the proper amount of time to see how it works with the camera, but I'm setting aside 2 days each time, probably one a month, setting aside 2 days each time to shoot for those 2 days with it, so that I can get a good feel for it. But as a photographer anyway, you normally know within about the first hour whether the lens is going to be any good for you or for how it's going to work with the camera. So keep a lookout for those videos as well. I'm going to go through the list. I don't have many lenses for this, so I'm going to go through the list of the recommended lenses as well, and also third-party lenses. Them will be later on in the year because I'll have to purchase them. So, but we'll get and wait and see how that goes. I have got a video coming up soon with the Meek 12mm or Mikey. I'm not unsure how to say this. They've very kindly sent this through to make a video on it. So I'm going to make a video on that just to see how that performs on it. I've taken a couple of photographs with it so far, and it's performing well again. And if you saw the last video with the Sigma 18-50, now that's an equivalent of 20-70-75. That's a stunning lens on this camera. It really is. I can't say highly enough about that. I was really surprised. I've only tried a Sigma art lens, and that was many, many years ago, and it was for portraiture, and that was really, really sharp. And that lens there, which, as I say, unfortunately I'm going to have to send back, but I'll put that in the buying list for this year. On a more serious note, the camera produces great images. It's fun to use. I can't stress that enough. It makes you want to shoot all the time, or it makes me want to shoot all the time, and it makes me want to shoot different things that I've never even photographed before. So that's where I'm really enjoying it. It's just keeping me really excited about photography, and that's a great thing. That's a really, really good thing in my book. Image-wise, it's better than I expected. And as I said earlier, I haven't tried the XH2S and the XH2. Perhaps I might get the opportunity in the future, I don't know, we'll see. And then I could do a really good comparison between the two cameras themselves. I'm really enamoured with this camera. As you know, it come back to the flip-out screen, which I really was a big fan of. Even although right now I'm filming on this, I don't have a flip out screen. So this here, I'll put it one on screen for you to see. That's £2-3 from Amazon. It's great, it's really, really good. It does the job for what I need. Since getting the camera, I haven't really had it out of my hands because it's fun to use. It actually really is fun to use. I always loved my XT3, and if you saw the last video, you know I purchased an XT4 only to find out 8-9 months later that the XT5 was coming out. So the only Fuji camera I own is the XT5 because I've had to sell each model to get a newer model. And that's the way of things. I don't need 2 or 3 cameras kicking around. I do have, as I said, the Nikon and this. That I find is a really lovely combination of cameras to have. At the time of making this video, I'm unsure whether this next video will be released or whether you've still to see this video. Now, this is a cage. This is the Smallrig cage for the XT5. And again, they've very kindly sent me that through to do a review on it as well. And I've already done one review. It was a video review they asked for, but the cage is actually so good and so handy, and I don't get enough use out of it, to be honest. So my plan is to actually make a video with this and then talk about it. So this might not be out just as quick as I'm hoping, or there'll be a quick video with it about it itself. This is brilliant, it's well made. It's Smallrig, of course it's well made, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. So that video will be coming out soon as well. Thank you very much for listening to me waffling on about how good I think the XT5 is. Now I'm sure you've got your own opinions, and every opinion when it comes to usability is completely and utterly valid. I'm using the XT5 for different types of photography. Don't get me wrong, mainly landscape, but I'm now finding that I'm shooting product, I'm shooting quite a lot of different things that I wouldn't normally shoot simply because of the camera. And it is simply because of the camera, because I want to see what it can do. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.